Stones, and then I'm going to do the toasted walnut butternut squash ale.
Yes. That's the other one.
That one is going to be awesome. It's going to require quite a few.
You gotta grab my balls while you do this, dude.
Oh, God.
Speaking of grabbing, would you grab V for me real quick? Hey, V, can I get another Belgian Pearl from you, please, when you have a chance?
I'll let you do a reach around while we brew.
No!
I order my beers live on the radio while David Flores sexually harasses our
Well, hey,
bartenders.
we ordered food last time we were here live on the.
Why he sneezed.
Now he's ordering sexually harassment. You put it to.
We did order food live on
You
the
know, you do it
radio
in the back
last
of the
time we were
throat.
here, and password delivered. So
That was very successful.
we're allowed. We have broken the threshold of ordering live, and we're allowed to do that now.
I remember when we first started doing this radio show many, many years ago. It was even more horrendous than it is now. And
I mean, not yesterday.
and I remember the utter fear that we had of ever breaking the fourth wall. It was like sacrilege to break the fourth wall. Now we don't give a shit. Now, you get to a point where you're so relaxed with the show and the way you do things.
Can you explain
just
a
say,
fourth
hey,
rule?
can I have a beer?
It makes the
can
show
I get
more
some food?
approachable.
It does.
Because
What's
they-
the fourth rule?
No, the fourth wall. When you break the fourth wall, that's when you never heard that expression. That's like when Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, gotcha.
When he looks right
Well,
at
look-
the camera and acknowledges the fact that he's talking to the viewers.
This
Gotcha.
stems
That's
back
breaking
to.
the fourth wall. You're breaking the illusion of it being
Gotcha. All right.
viewed or listened to.
Yeah, it steps back. The term comes from the old sitcom days where you'd have a 3-walled apartment,
Correct.
and that fourth wall would never be shown.
Yes.
And when you break that fourth wall, that's where you show it, and then you show the crowd watching because that fourth wall is never,
imaginary.
It was look at Friends, for instance. It was that wall was never broken. You never
Correct.
saw
Yeah.
the crowd. That's where that term ends up coming.
All right.
from.
The Carol Burnett show did that. They
Yeah,
did that.
yeah.
But they didn't break that. Okay, I understand what you mean now.
You typically only see those at the end of the run. The last
Right, you'll show
episode.
the
They'll bring
crowd.
everybody
Yep.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll show the whole set and everything.
Well, guys,
That's where they actually look at the camera.
Yeah.
We're going to jump into a commercial break. We're running low on time, but David Flores, thank you once again. My
Cheers,
friend.
guys. You guys
Yeah,
make me
thank
happy.
you.
Always appreciated your
Thank
beers,
you.
and look forward to talking to you soon. Craniacs, we're going to jump into a break. When we get back, we've got another proud moment in redneck history brought to you by Lou Bob. You'll hear that when we get back from break.
Did he do a bunch of these?
Apparently, I don't know if this was already in the can.
Did he
or-
email it to Sancho or something?
I don't know.
Sancho emailed it
to me.
Okay, because you emailed it to me.
So he's doing okay, obviously. Where is he at?
I'll tell you later.
He's supposed to call, right, Sancho?
Yes.
Okay, so he's going to call at some point. Got a bunch of food stories to get into in the next segment. We love our food stories. All you listeners, stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, it's Harry Carey here. Have you lost a loved one? Perhaps a beloved pet? Well, I can get you in touch with Automelda and Little Bubbles. Then all you gotta do is call 1-800-ASK-HARRY, and I got you covered. Your deceased loved ones will be nothing more than a phone call away with Harry Carey's Liaisons to the Dead. Call me now at 1-800-ASK-HARRY. Here's Charlie from Toronto.
Harry Carey got me in touch with my Uncle Abe, and I found out he was the Sausage King of Chicago.
Then there's John from Salt Lake City.
My Meemaw Agnes told me where to find a fortune she had hidden from a bank robbery she had done in the early 40s.
So call me now and get in touch with your loved ones at 1-800-ASK-HARRY. That's 1-800-ASK-HARY.
All right, man. ESB Brewing commercial. Take one.
Hey, you want me to run bar for you? I am producer on great show at ESP on Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. o'clock, the Cranial Emission Show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you mean the Cranial Mission Show.
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay. All right. Now, Sancho, we're going to run through this. We're going to get it right this time, okay?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Now, just read the copy I gave you just like they wrote it.
Yes.
Okay. ESB Brewing commercial. Take...
Hello, I'm Sancho.
No, hey, like I said, when I say take two,
I did. You said take two.
look, just read the few lines they wrote for you, okay? And only about ESB and their amazing beer.
Can I talk about Leslie?
No. This commercial is just about the quality of ESB's beer.
But Leslie, she's so pretty and she make amazing beer.
All right. Take 5. Jimmy, get this guy in the ball, please. I can't believe this fucking bullshit. Why do we have to have a low fucking budget?
Sir,
What?
your mic is still live.
Damn it!
pardon our advertising. At ESB Brewing, we spend our money on beer.
This is Bill Clinton. When I come back from making my rounds in Harlem, there's nothing more than I like to do than wash my balls, grab a glass of wine, and put on a little BET for the bootay, and listen to the Cranial Mission Show with Ben Charles, Joey Needles, and Miguel Hito.
Welcome back to the Cranial Mission Show, folks. An old station ID to lead you into today's segment, the third segment of the show. Ben Charles, Miguel Hito, and now the C Squared, bringing you the show live from ESB Brewing here in a rainy Tampa, Florida, 333 North Falkenberg Road, Suite D.
Sweet D.
407. You want to be a part of the show, by the way, you can call in. You can do so by dialing 813-438-6068.
Love when you say that.
Go to cranialmissions.com. Check out the website. I try to make it silky smooth when I say that.
Silky smooth. Dirty.
Sancho was talking about, we were talking with him about Lou Bob earlier. We teased at the beginning of the show that Lou Bob will be calling in at some point. For those that are new to the show, Lou Bob Jenkins is a show contributor at certain points, oftentimes a mooch on us, a pox on this show in terms of whether he tries to stay at our houses for free, all kinds of antics that Lou Bob tends to get into. It's a love-hate type of relationship, but occasionally he does do something creative and fun. Case in point, lately he's been doing these installments that he refers to as Proud Moments in Redneck History, and Caleb, I understand we have a new one for him.
We do.
Without further ado, let's hear it.
All right.
Hey guys, it's old Lou Bob Jenkins here with another proud moment in redneck history. Now today's proud moment is brought to you by Texas native Betty Nesmith Graham, who happened to be a typist. The problem was she wasn't a very good one. Now it didn't help that back then trying to correct typos on a typewriter was about as easy as trying to take off the goddamn autocorrect on your iPhone when you're texting. Yes, I spelled it that way on purpose, iPhone, goddamn Siri. Anyway, Graham also painted holiday windows at her office, and she figured that if painters just paint over their mistakes, hey, there's no reason typists can't do the same. So back in 1951, she made some water-based whiteout in her blender, and then she dubbed it Mistakeout. Now she brought that product Mistakeout to work, and when co-workers began requesting it for themselves, Graham realized maybe she was on to something. So she refined her formula and began filling orders in the evenings and weekends until 1956, when she was fired from her day job after she made a mistake that she didn't correct with the whiteout. Kind of ironic, ain't it? After that, it gave her the time to actually focus on promoting the whiteout company. It gave her an opportunity to make all kinds of money, and she renamed the product Liquid Paper and ran that business till 1979, when she sold it to Gillette for $47.5 million in royalties. Hey, not bad for a redneck woman that couldn't type now, is it? Her other accomplishment, by the way, was giving birth to Mike Nesmith, guitarist and songwriter for the Monkees. I don't know about y'all, but that's one hell of a woman with bad typing skills and apparently very talented ovaries. For Lou Bob Jenkins, this is another proud moment in redneck history. Lou Bob, out.
Oh, Lou Bob, I tell you, for a guy that is such an insufferable pain in the ass. And look, I mean, we've, everyone here, I think Caleb is the only one, because he's newer to the show, that hasn't experienced the uncanny mooching wrath that is Lou Bob Jenkins.
Yeah,
that's just because I haven't told him where I live or invited him to my house.
Smart move. Yeah. It took Miggy forever to get rid of him. And, of course, now he's got Sancho mooching off of him. But Lou Bob, we don't know where you are. Last we heard, you were eating out of a dumpster in London because John Wilson, the great John Wilson, we love you, buddy, who's not was hanging out here. He had to kick Lou Bob out of his house, and I don't blame him after what he went through.
Yeah, I don't either.
We haven't heard from Lou Bob since, so I'm interested to see what's going on there. Now, I teased before the break, guys, that we were going to get into some food stories. And this one was pretty funny to me. Obviously, over the years, there's been this long-standing competition between Burger King and McDonald's.
Yeah.
Huge. It's like a blood feud almost.
Well, and that's why I thought this story was so funny, because it is like a blood feud. But, the great Stacey Cheese makes a good point. We actually talked about advertising, and he says that, Burger King has become the anti-McDonald's, and they kind of have, which is so weird that they actually reached out to McDonald's to it seems like it's more of a publicity stunt, but to team up and build a McWhopper pop-up restaurant. And I guess they posted it on Facebook. Well, the CEO of McDonald's wrote back to them and said, inspiration for a good cause, great idea. We love the intention, but think our two brands could do something bigger to make a difference. We commit to raise awareness worldwide. Perhaps you'll join us in a meaningful global effort. And every day, let's acknowledge that between us there is simply a friendly business competition, and certainly not the unequaled circumstances of the real pain and suffering of war. We'll be in touch. Steve, McDonald's CEO. P.S. A simple phone call will do next time. So he kind of called him out for. I guess they put together a video and posted it on their Facebook.
It's interesting
I
because
didn't even see that part. All right, I'm going to look at that now.
I think when you look at the fast food landscape now, obviously quite different than it once was. Back when we were kids, you didn't have that many choices. You had maybe a handful of choices. You had those two. You had Wendy's,
Arby's.
You had a sprinkling of a few others. Now there's a ton of these places.
Oh yeah,
and obviously now we are also a lot less ignorant as to the ramifications, as to the consequences of eating this kind of food. And so McDonald's actually has seen a lot of backlash. Over the last few years, there's been talk about them downsizing because of the financial effects that they've suffered. McDonald's being what it is, it's easy, it's quick, it's cheap. There are times, as much as I try to avoid it, where I might stop in. But I got to tell you this about Burger King. Today, I'm driving around. I'm desperate for something to eat. And I've been trying to be pretty good, man. I've been trying to stay away from this shitty food. I'm trying to lose some weight again. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Burger King's right by my condo. I'm going to stop in there, right? I go in this. It's terrible. Burger King is terrible. Am I alone on this?
No. Well, yes and no.
I'm like, I should have gone to McDonald's. I mean, Burger King is absolute shit.
Their burgers are actually pretty good. The Whopper, I enjoy a Whopper, especially a good double Whopper. But everything else that goes along with
You
the
like
service.
that. You should like the Whopper, Ben. Ben is Italian.
I see what you did there.
Minus the H.
Yeah. The service is atrocious.
Oh yeah.
The condiments, the sides, the French fries, everything else is absolutely horrible. Burgers are decent. They're good burgers, but everything that goes along with it is just garbage. I remember the one near the mall here. When I lived out that way, it was the closest one to my house, and you used to drive. Every time you drive by, that's one thing about a Burger King that's different from a McDonald's and a Wendy's. When you drive by, you smell the hamburgers cooking.
They actually they flame broil them.
Yeah. So I went in one day, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. It wasn't late at all. Doors were locked. People working there were standing inside, hanging out. Did not acknowledge me at the door trying to get in, wondering why the hell the doors are locked when the sign on the door says they're open till 11 o'clock. And, maybe there was some kind of problem. They should have put a sign on the door or said, hey, we're not. I think they were just a bunch of kids screwing around, didn't want to let anybody.
Smoking doobs.
Probably.
Yeah, I do like the barbecue with the onion rings on it. I do like that one.
I tell you, I had a friend that worked at Burger King a long time ago, and he brought a triple Whopper over one day.
Triple? Jesus Christ.
It's delicious, but you just basically...
It's like veal. It's delicious.
But their fries...
They're horrible.
They can't get it. I don't understand. And
they're cold.
And
they're always cold.
They've re-engineered the fry recipe like 3 different times.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost got like a coat around the outside.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's got a little furry, weird coat.
Yeah, it's like a seasoned fry without the seasoning.
Well, they all dip them in milk.
But just in my lifetime, they've re-engineered these fries like 3 times. Yeah. And I think they're actually worse now than they were. Like you said, it gives like a film in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's milk fats that's on there.
Is that what it is?
That's why the Indian... in India, they had it in there, and they were still using that, even knowing that the Indian people hold the cow sacred and they don't eat cow products. So
were they using goat milk, maybe?
No, they were using cow milk, and they burned the place to the ground.
Quick question.
Oh, wow.
Do they call it Burger Con there?
No, they call it Burger King. Burger King.
Well, have you ever noticed at Burger King the few times that we've eaten there, The fries are always cold. They can take them directly out of the fryer and give them to you. By the time you put one in your